Aussie Gutter Protection. Are leaves, debris, blocking your gutters? The do-it-yourself attempt wasn't a success? Pests and birds nesting in your roof? Just relax. Help is on its way.
Aussie Gutter Protection started way back in 2000. It's a family-run business and it's an industry recognised leader, growing every day with more and more homes being protected.
Blocked gutters can cause flooding inside the house, and that can be expensive. Drains can get blocked, and that can be expensive too. Just one small ember from a distant bushfire can be disastrous. Pests or nesting birds can bring disease inside the home. Do it yourself? No. Too many people die or are seriously injured falling from ladders. It's a big problem.
This particular homeowner has gone down the DIY path. As you can see, little or no success. After a short period of time, the gutters are all blocked up. Again, some of it's blown away and missing. Not to mention the danger of actually installing it yourself, height, things like that, falling off a roof. Not a good situation. It's not only leaves that can block up your gutters, pine needles as well. With this house so close to pine trees, you can see the result.
Aussie Gutter Protection's installers are trained to deliver a professional and secure finish to your home or building. Experienced people and great service.
A very good morning to you. My name's Guy Hand and welcome to the 2017 Steller Vic Open. It's finals day, day 7, and we're about to decide 7 finals over the course of the next few hours to determine our champions at the 2017 Steller Vic Open. We started with 1,681 entries across the 7 disciplines, 3,000 competitors, more than 2,000 matches over the 7 days. And it's all come down to this. Today we decide our 7 finals. And we start this morning with our featured match, the men's pairs final. And it features a man who's playing a very prominent role in the Vic Open so far, Schraner of Tasmania. Filuk from Bendigo East, the lead. Brad Marron from Bendigo East. And Schraner from Rosny Park in Tasmania. They're taking on Nick Youngs from Cheltenham, Cam Wilson from Kangaroo Flat, which is in the Bendigo area, and Brad Foote from the Mentone Edge. Now on the adjoining rink is our women's triples final, and we'll be keeping you up to date with that throughout the match that we're featuring. We're featuring the men's game, but we'll be bringing you up to date, and we'll be keeping you across the women's triples final. And that should be a great game. That's between Blaine, Brooke and Gail Edwards from Altona. We featured them yesterday in their semi-final win over Jan O'Regan, Judy Davey and Courtney Gabb. And they're taking on Carol Fair, Jolene Bianchetto and Daphne Orbach from St John's Park, the powerhouse in Sydney. So that should be, we should have 2 terrific games here. We'll be concentrating on the men's game, but we will be keeping you up to date with scores on the adjoining rink from the women's triples final. We go 15 ends here. And I think we're in for a terrific match in the sort of form Schraner is in right now, as we witnessed in his men's singles quarter-final yesterday. He's in absolutely unstoppable nick. And Schraner is featuring in 2 finals and could well be a 3rd. So he's already booked his place in the first 2 games that we're going to televise today, which is the men's pairs and the mixed pairs final, where he plays with Gail Edwards. That's a little later on today. So as we prepare for this game, fantastic to bring in my co-commentator for today, and probably the vast majority of today. A man who's played more than 200 games for Victoria. He's an Australian singles champion. He's the Chief Executive of Bowls Victoria, Graeme Bridge.
Thanks, Guy. And yes, look, it's another day. It's the final day, really. It's come down to the money rounds now. So we're playing the last 18 in any golf open. It's the grand final. It's everything, and we've got a player here today who could possibly create some history in Schraner. I think one of the best single game performances I've seen for quite a long time, what he did to young Nathan Murray yesterday. And Nathan's no slouch. He's a very accomplished player, but he wasn't in the class of Schraner yesterday. I was one of the, as I say, it was a precision demolition of a player who is I think would rank himself a little bit. Nathan's a very confident player, but I think the display that Lee put on yesterday was it was out of this world. And if you missed it, for God's sake, get on and do a replay of it, because you won't see a better performance. It was world class.
You'll find all the replays too on the Bowls Victoria website, all the replays from day 1. If you go to our website, after you've watched this, of course, go to our website and you'll find all the replays, and you can see Schraner and you can see a magnificent performance. So we're underway here. Nick Youngs from Cheltenham taking the mat there. And this is Filuk from Bendigo East, leading for Schraner here. And it would be fair to say, Bridgie, that there's certainly been a fair bit of drama around the trio, notwithstanding how well they've played, of Filuk, Marron and Schraner this week, because, well, I've probably over the last couple of months, because Schraner hasn't been in the best of health. He was very ill. We heard that from his triples partner here, Brad Marron, that he'd been very, very sick. He was extremely ill. Managed to overcome that And soon after that, won the Australian Champions in Darwin, which is extraordinary in itself. And now he's made 2 finals here at the Vic Open. As well as that, we had the situation yesterday where Dylan Filuk, who just sent that bowl down, collapsed prior to their semi-final match, had a seizure, was replaced very late in the piece by Luke Lamond of Lilydale, and we do allow fill-ins here for health problems. Dylan collapsed before that game. He was treated. A few hours later, he was absolutely fine.
There's a great bowl by Cam Wilson.
It's a great start from Cam Wilson there.
Right on the front of the jack.
And Dylan is back up and about, which is terrific to see. So they've certainly had some drama follow them around this team.
Oh, look, you don't do anything by half with these blokes. So, you know, get on their deathbeds, come off them. Back from always be wary of the bowler that's coming back from a spell. And I think Lee Schraner is, you know, whilst he did battle some rather severe health issues with a dose of Indian swine flu, his best mate was telling us yesterday, Brad Marron, he's certainly come back with a vengeance here so far in this event, and he's, as I say, the only event he's not going to feature in is the men's pairs. He's in everything else at the moment. So,
yeah, very much so. He's certainly still deep in the men's singles. We're yet to see how that plays out. Certainly he's made 2 finals so far. And Brad Marron on the mat here.
Very focused too, Brad. He's zoned right in here. Yeah, Schraner's team have got the jack surrounded, other than the fact that they don't hold shot. So if they can get that Wilson bowl out, it could be a multiple, but I think Brad Foote might have something to say about that.
Brad Foote, terrific young player. He stayed under 25 champion back in 2016, beating his teammate from Mentone, Lachlan Jolly, in the final of that. And Brad's a fine young bowler, very, very solid pennant performer in the Taylor Bowls Premier Division for Mentone. And one of the brightest young prospects we have in the sport.
Might have heard that. Schraner is going to try and cut that bowl off the front of the jack. There's a little gap there for him to go through and not take any of his own, but he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to be wayward. He's played a nice controlled weight here. He's got this. He's got this. Oh, what a great shot.
That is superb from Lee Schraner.
Took one of his own, but it was definitely the shot for him to play. And he's put the pressure back on Foote now to draw to within 18 inches around the jack, 450 mil. Just put a little bit on his last. He was a little bit tight with his first as well, so he's given this a good line. Oh, I don't think he's going to get there, is he? Is he? Yes, he's done it. He's run it out. Wait, great shot there.
Oh, terrific shot, Brad Foote.
Brad Foote. Yeah, this is probably Schraner's favourite shot, this. An underlined sit out of the shot bowl, which is turning out of the head. Doesn't like the call from Brad. He's going to go up and have a look. The bowl's in front there on the backhand way in. Just a little bit of a gap between the two, so he'd have to hit this perfectly to get the result to cannon on one onto the other, but I think the shot there is the forehand shot to sit him out. Ooh, he's playing a bit of weight here. That's one to Foote.
Correct. So Brad Foote and company off the mark here. And they lead Lee Schraner 1-0. First end down. We play 15 at the Steller Vic Open. We play 15 ends in our multiples. Now, a reminder, now none of our finals are timed here, so we will keep playing until there's a result. So all our matches in the lead up to this are timed at 2:15. They time out then. So we will play until there's a result here.
On the first end in the women's triples, the Edwards family have got away to a 1-0 lead. So both games virtually running alongside one another here to rhythm. Both on their second end.
And we'll keep you across that game as we go. We'll stick with this one for the moment. Dylan Filuk on the mat. It's great to see Dylan back up and about. He's done very well in this tournament. He was he went fairly deep in the singles as well. He was into the last 16, I think, of the singles. So he's had a good tournament, Dylan. He's 23 from Bendigo East. And he'd never got past the first knockout round before this year. He's certainly having a breakthrough tournament here.
That's a better bowl from Nick Youngs. That first one, just a little bit outside the area that's going to have any effect on the end result, but must that he gets that second one up, and he's done that. And much the same for Dylan here. He's got to get that second bowl behind the jack as well, and he's played a ripper here. He's got might have just gone past, but it's in the right area, right zone.
Amazing story about Dylan Filuk. He got beaten in the first knockout round. It's his best ever performance at the Vic Open. You know who beat him?
Lee Schraner.
Lee Schraner, correct.
Lee Schraner beats everybody at the Vic Open, guy. He's a machine. Just. It's a good bowl, but it's a short shot. Any touch here of Brad Marron on the jack is only going to be better for the Schraner team. Pretty much the same characteristic today, Guy, as yesterday, with this hand on the ditch side here at Shepparton Park, taking a lot of draw. Good bowl from Brad Marron. That's in the catching pen.
I think Brad, being part of the commentary team, would have probably noticed that yesterday.
Oh, we might have clued him up here.
Yeah, I think we might have.
Coaching lesson for nothing. He's a smart player, good player. You don't get to finals at these sorts of events and unless you've got some real ability. And look, this is a great bowl here from Cam Wilson. One of the Wilson clan.
Yes, there's a significant number of them. There's Aaron and Nathan and Matt.
Half a pennant team.
Pretty much. Cam playing first year at Kangaroo Flat, coaching this year.
Well, that's one out of the way. That's good. A good bowl for his skipper, because he can see that shot bowl now, and that's probably one of Leroy's favourite shots. That just to sit on the backhand there, trail the jack. He's got plenty of options there. Nothing in the way.
It's a real Bendigo flavour about this game. We've got obviously Brad, who's just moved back to Bendigo, or moved to Bendigo East this year. Dylan, who plays at Bendigo East, and Cam Wilson, who's just gone back to Kangaroo Flat. That Bendigo pennant competition is becoming a real powerhouse now. South Bendigo particularly loading up on players. Mitch Sidebottom into the men's final. He plays at South Bendigo. Great comp.
Always been a strong area for bowls, Bendigo, over many years. And look, to give you some idea of the strength of bowls in Bendigo, there's quite a number of players who are resident pennant players in Bendigo that were asked to come to Melbourne and play in the Metropolitan Premier Division. So it's a pretty big recruiting area also for the Metro clubs to try and entice those players down to play in the Premier Division. I think every Wilson's had a go in the Premier Division.
They have, yeah. A few with Essendon. Cam was with Essendon last season. He's taken on the coaching job at Kangaroo Flat. So he's gone back home this year.
This bloke spent so much time on the greens here this week, I don't think he's changed his clothes.
Well, another busy schedule for Schraner today.
Phenomenal.
Well, he'll play in the first two televised matches we have here.
Phenomenal.
He'll be in the mixed pairs as well.
If he's got the weight here, he's got a ripping bowl. This is why this bloke is one of the best going around. I said that bowl there was the object for him to sit on, and he just plays it to perfection.
What a pleasure it is to watch Lee Schraner.
I love it when they don't let you down too. When you predict a shot and they get it, you know, you think you know a little bit about the game, but he's got to do it. But he's just so regular and he turns up all the time. Plays the big bowls when he's needed. That's a great bowl too from Brad Foote. Just a little bit outside the line, but maybe a little bit of safety here. I sort of don't agree with him changing his hand there. The head hasn't changed that much. He could play the same bowl as he did with his last and still make 2 shots. So it's an object lesson here for most bowlers. You know, you get that one shot with a big bowl, and you've got the last bowl on the end. If you can add another, they're the ones that really hurt on the scorecard. And this is out in a perfect area. Just a little bit tired, but his first was a ripper.
So there we go, 1 to Schraner.
So it's all square.
All square after 2 ends. We hope you're enjoying wherever you're watching from. Bowls Victoria's live stream coverage of the Steller Vic Open, brought to you by Aussie Gutter Protection. It's great to have them as our live streaming sponsor. Been keeping leaves and debris out of your gutters. Contact Aussie Gutter Protection to find out more. 1300 88 5525 or at the website aussiegutterprotection.com.au.
How many times do you think Dylan Filuk's rolled the jack ditch to ditch this week? Leroy.
A lot, as under Leroy's instruction, I'm sure.
Leroy's favourite length. So he's only 6 inches off the maximum length here with the mat right back. So we're about 35 metres apart here, mat to jack, and Dylan wouldn't be happy with that as a starter. He's a good 2.5 metres short there. In all the team games that we've televised so far, it's always been stressed that the leads set up the game. They set up the end. Here's a great opener here.
Yeah, well played, Nick Youngs.
I think any of the skippers would just love to have their lead with 2 bowls sort of within that 18 inches to 2 feet around the jack, and nothing in the way for the player that follows. Like, that's a better bowl. It's the shot, well weighted. Brad Marron would love to be getting on the mat with nothing in the way. It makes it just so much easier for you to get, you know, nice consistent line, play your natural arc line of your bowl, and nothing in the way to get inside or around, and just takes the pressure off. It's thereabouts. Choice now of which side that Lee calls Brad on, because both draws are virtually blocked up. But a nicely weighted bowl on either side, just underneath to jack high, narrow, will be a good shot. He's gone out a long way with this one, Brad. If he gets around this, he's played a ripping shot. Good bowl. It's the only bowl past the jack. We've
Just an update on the opposite rink there, Edwards and Edwards. 2 to the good after 2 ends. 2-zip over Daphne Rohrback in the women's triples final.
You've got the weight here, Brad. You're on the right line to draw that shot just under. He's just a little puff short there, 2 feet. Wilson here, he's out on a reasonably good line here. Just to fade in underneath. He's done that and got the absolute shot, so could be holding 2 there to the better.
You think they got 2 there? Yeah, 2.
Could be. It's misleading sometimes with the angle because of the distance we are away, but it's definitely 1 to the yellow and green bowl, and the bowl at just above 9 o'clock and the one up at 1 o'clock. They're the 2 I would say would be the measure for 2. Just have a look and see what Lee Schraner does with this bowl. I think he'd be pretty focused of a backhand draw to try and draw into that little spot, similar to bowl to what Cam Wilson played with his last, and just draw to the edge of that and fall in for shot. It's not beyond the realms of possibility here that he may get a toucher. He's playing aggressively, so he's looking for a piece of the jack. Got the edge of the jack.
Yes.
He's got the shot. He's got that side bowl there of Dylan Filuk. That's it. That's the one that's going to be shot at the moment. But his opponent, Brad Foote, will have 2 opportunities to draw to the offline jack. So any thoughts of drawing back to the centre line here have gone out of his mind, because he's out to within a foot of the boundary line, 300 mil. He's got to come back in, which he's done. And his weight's very handy. That's a good shot. That's a good start there. He's not got too close to the jack. He's got about 18 inches to draw the shot here. He loves the challenge. Wherever you put the jack, he'll draw to it. Put it on the roof of your car, he'd probably try to draw to it. But he's, whoops, slips no go.
Just a pained expression there on
the
Schraner.
Look, mate, I'll tell you what, if he was on the professional world tennis tour, he'd have a masseuse after the game, giving him a rub down, ice bath, everything.
He is the marathon man, Lee Schraner.
Absolutely.
Matching his 2012 heroics here in 2017.
Yep. Yeah, he's perfectly weighted. Perfectly weighted bowl. Foote's got a lot more room now to draw a second. As we said before, this last bowl's so important to get that ascendancy on the scorecard. He's grasped this beautifully. He's gone out, coming back. The only thing that might hold him back is a little bit of weight, but he's going to hold up. 2 shots, 2 great bowls.
Yeah, really good Brad Foote there. And they pick up 2. So Brad Foote takes a 3-1 lead over Lee Schraner in our men's triples final. Now, just on the in the women's triples final, Daphne Rohrbach's picked up a number there. Picked up 3 shots last in. They hold a 3-2 lead over the Edwards in the women's triples final, which is going on the adjoining rink. We'll keep you up to date with that throughout. Both matches we play 15 ends. Nick Young's on the mat now. Nick, a good solid pennant player. He's never got this far in the Vic Open, and certainly a big game for him.
It's a solid start. He's settled. I think all players have settled here. They've all done something at certain stages of this game, which has already gone 3 ends. But, chance here for Dylan Filuk to close up that gap between the shot bowl and the jack, which he's done with a very, very well weighted bowl. That's a good shot. That's a good shot. Fall over. It has. Always nice when they fall on their belly. They're harder to shift when they're laying flat. As we said also in the previous broadcasts, that there's no real need for the lead to get the shot. They've just got to get in the area to try and soften the damage for their skips. Give them a good start. They're a bit of a pathfinder, the leads. If you watch their bowls, you get an idea of the line of what the green's doing. He likes this. He's following it.
He's up after it.
He's played 2 rippers here. That's
well
great
played,
bowling,
Dylan
Dylan. Oh, hello. Merry Christmas.
Hard to
There's a
believe.
little bit of a target there, but
Hard to believe this guy had collapsed yesterday, couldn't play the semi-final, and
Mate.
now he's back playing shots of that. It's extraordinary.
maybe we'll need to drug test this team. They might be on something. I know what they are on. They're on adrenaline and they're on good bowls. That's a great shot.
Oh, it's a
Great
lovely
shot,
bowl,
Cam.
Cam Wilson.
Well, I tell you what, their skipper a couple of months ago wasn't in a very good place health-wise. He's an example for him, eh? Don't give in, don't give up, keep going, keep plugging away. He sets himself a very, very high standard, Lee, and he maintains it. That's the thing. He doesn't ask anybody to do anything he can't do himself. And look at that for a bowl from Brad Marron. What a clanger. We're bringing out the top shelf.
Yeah, this has been quite some start to the men's triples final. It's some cracking bowls from all players here.
You'd have to say Lee inspires his players.
I would think so, and you certainly got the impression when we spoke to Brad Marron on the commentary last night that that's exactly how he rolls.
That's as skinny as a Port Melbourne garfish, that bowl. And it's not a good end for it because it's gone out of bounds. So I think Cam might have rushed that a little bit. Didn't think enough about the weight and line combination, and it was a good weight, but he was way narrow. It's a bit deceptive on this forehand. It's a wide drawing hand, but it's also a wide running shot hand as well. It's taking a lot of bend if you play just that little bit over the draw shot. So look at this. This is
Brad's
awesome.
down after this.
Yeah, that's
brilliant. Well, a couple of absolute peaches from Brad Marron there.
Well,
Wow.
that's as good as bowls gets.
Look at that head.
Position play, that's exactly what you want your number 2 in 2 bowl triples to do.
Look at that head before the skips even get around. That's brilliant.
You could lay the mat over those half a dozen bowls there, and that's really good bowling. It's nearly what they used to say. You could lay all the bowls on a bowls cloth. That's about the same size. It's precision bowling, and he played exactly the same bowl as his first virtually. The repetition of that was magnificent. He's got no choice here but to play weight, Brad. He can't draw the shot. He's got a good bowl here. Took 2 out. That last bowl that Brad Marron put down jammed onto another bowl, which shot 2 of the Schraner shots out.
Still holding 2 by the looks of it.
Yep. It's still a very, very difficult head for Foote to get into to draw the shot. I think Lee's smart bowl here would be to cover the tee, just in case the jack does kill. And with 1 close to it, if the jack's respotted, he'd have at least 1 with a chance to draw with his last for 2. So, smart bowl.
Just a reminder to those watching in other jurisdictions that we respot the jack on the tee here at the Steller Vic Open. So you'll see that shot come into play quite a bit.
If we didn't respot the jack here, Lee could keep us here all day and all night. Like he and Matty Flapper, they're renowned big drivers and not anything for them to lift the jack right out of the green. So if you're a spectator and you're sitting behind, thankfully the scoreboard attendants are really the only people in the line of fire. I saw Matty Flapper once drive a jack out of a green in Hobart at Sandy Bay. From the edge of the green to a fence there was about 20 feet. The fence was about 8 feet high. He hit the jack so hard it went up in the air over the fence into the backyard of a house, and it disturbed 2 dogs. And we said that can stay over there because there was a German Shepherd dog and another big dog, and there was no way known we were going to go over and try and retrieve it, but it's one of the biggest drives I've ever seen. It was airborne.
Wow.
This is good play from Lee. He's walking down. His opponent now will be thinking, oh God, what am I going to do with my... He's out of bullets, Brad, so Lee's looking what he can do here to maximise his return. I really think he's only got another draw shot.
It's a nice position to be in, isn't it? You've got a couple.
Yeah.
take a good long think about what you're going to do, and you've got some.
Well, he doesn't.
You got two.
He doesn't want to waste a bowl. There's so many people will go down the other end and look at it and think, oh well, I can't beat it, so I won't. I'll just throw it away and won't do anything with it. Lee will have a purpose in what he does with this last bowl. And if Brad shows him where Jack High is on his backhand, I've got every confidence that Lee can draw another shot here. Ooh.
Okay then, so
Brad Foote got them out of trouble there.
Yeah. So just the one shot there.
One shot.
Just the one. And Foote leads Schraner. 4-1.
I think Schraner would have been fairly confident of holding that end until that last bowl from Foote, and that's a great start from Nick Youngs. That's a ripping start.
That's a beauty, isn't it?
That's resting toucher. Any touch on the shot bowl here will move the jack.
So here we go. Brad Foote, Nick Youngs, Cam Wilson holding a 4-1 lead over Filuk, Marron and Schraner. Dylan gets
just searching for that one there. Probably not a... We've been trying to draw as close as he could there to give Brad a shelf to run off or a bowl to turn in. Just a little bit through.
As Cam Wilson puts this bowl down, it's a real pleasure to bring into commentary with us Bowls Victoria's coverage of the Steller Vic Open. A man who may well be on his way to the Gold Coast in 2018 to play in the Commonwealth Games. East Shepparton coach Josh Thornton. Josh, great to have you as part of our coverage. Welcome aboard.
Morning, Guy. Morning, Graeme. How's everybody this morning?
We're well. It's hard not to be well when you're seeing bowls of this quality.
We nearly feel like Lee Schraner, but we're not playing. But we're marathon men too.
You are. You're doing a great job, you too, so keep it going.
Josh, you've seen the start to this match. It's been terrific. It's been some very high quality bowls so far.
It's been a terrific match so far. Bowls trading, shot for shot, and some ripper conversions and all the rest of it so far. So the way this match is going, even though Brad's got a 4-1 lead, you can expect Lee's team to come back.
Brad Marron tucked that jack off that shot bowl from Nick Youngs, but he got full contact, half contact with the jack, and his bowl didn't go through as far as what you would expect. The jacks do tend to run a bit on this surface.
They definitely do. Yeah.
The bowl doesn't run as far as the yellow jack.
It's just the nature of playing on a synthetic green most of the time, Bridgie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you're not using the heavy jacks, and you touch one, they run forever.
That's exactly right.
You lose them. But that's a good bowls from Marron. He's got two reasonable bowls on the head there for Lee. If Brad Foote doesn't do anything here, I don't expect to see that yellow and green bowl last there long.
I wouldn't have thought so.
I think he'd be looking for that.
The one good thing about Brad so far this match is most players tend to play ditch side. It's the kind of hand, but Brad's actually played that opposite side of the rink quite well so far. So
his outside draw to that jack that was out near the boundary line, he played two superb shots out there. We had seen a lot of bowls out there earlier in the televised events where they've hung out. He might have a set of bowls that do a bit of turn.
Possibly. They look like Dreamline XGs from here. I think what's also critical about a couple of those bowls that he's played on that hand is his weight's been perfect. And I think if you get your weight perfect on that hand, that's when you can play a couple of good shots.
Yeah. Lee's gone out there with him on that forehand. And I reckon that's about the line for Lee. Have a look at this.
They're liking it.
Oh, he's a class player, this bloke. There's not many better.
Wow, well bowled, Lee Schraner. We've said that a few times.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what event he goes to, he seems to do the same thing all the time. He's getting into the pointy end, whether it's a Vic Open, Australian Open, you name it. He's always floating around there, getting to the finish.
Brad's just got to try and draw him off. He doesn't have to do anything silly here. He could get an edge of the bowl and push it out and stay. I think this is a bit tight though. Very, very well weighted. Had the weight to draw the shot.
Might give Lee an opportunity here. He could sit that bowl for 4.
Yeah, or he could get a toucher and fall on the jack for 4 as well.